Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Hannah and I post videos related to college, life, just whatever's going on right now. Today's video is a little different actually than other videos I posted, and I figured since we've all been stuck in the house and since we've all probably been bored, not really sure what to do with ourselves, I don't know about you guys, but all I've been doing is watching Netflix and Hulu and finding new shows to watch. I've also been on TikTok a lot and YouTube and all of those things. So I've been trying to find things to keep myself entertained while I am stuck here in the house, and I figured why not make a list and share it with you guys of the things that I enjoy watching that you guys also might like as well. Disclaimer, these are my opinions of shows that I like, and these are shows that I've watched and enjoyed. So you may not like them, but these are just things that I thought I'd suggest to you guys in case you ever wanted to check it out or watch it, or if you're just bored and really just need another show to get onto. I have a list here on my phone of all of the things that I want to read out to you guys about what y'all could watch to keep yourselves entertained. So let's get started. Okay, so I watch a lot of YouTube. It keeps me entertained. And I don't know, I like finding like different things, but recently my recommended page gets to the point where it gets kind of boring or repetitive, so I try and find like new videos for me to watch and things that I haven't seen before. So these are a few YouTubers that I don't really watch on the regular, or I've never watched before until I looked around on YouTube while I was bored or didn't really have anything else to do. And so these are some YouTubers that I found just really interesting. They're not like the typical people I would usually watch, but I enjoy their videos and their content. So the first person is Abby Sharp, and she is a dietitian and she reviews people's eating habits. She also posts, you know, her own like eating, what she eats in a day. She also reviews a lot of other YouTubers, what they eat in a day and their eating habits, and I find it so interesting, especially when she reviews the people that I watch. She'll give amazing tips and tricks about eating healthy and just keeping yourself healthy and your body healthy. When she reviews these people, she's honest and she's real, but she also gives like advice to the people and like to all of us that are watching. Her videos are really informative and really good, so if you want to check her out, please do. And also I will make the list of all of these, of every single thing I list down below, and I'll link the YouTubers too so you guys can watch their channels. The next one, so this is kind of like weird, not weird, but I love watching vocal reviews, like people reviewing singers. And there's this one girl, her name is Rebecca Vocal Athlete, and she does these videos where she essentially reviews singers too, and she'll like react to somebody singing live or somebody's new song or a singer's new, you know, whatever they put out, and she'll react to it, and I find it so interesting. I love like watching what they think of coming from like another professional perspective, and what they think about different artists and what they think about an artist I may like. I don't know, she's just really interesting to me. And again, like her videos, you can go far deep down and not even realize it. And I don't know, she's really interesting to me. I don't know, she's like, I love her channel, and so you guys should definitely check her out if you're into that stuff. Another person is Skincare by Hiram. I don't know if you guys have heard of this guy before, but he is great. He gives amazing skincare advice, skincare tips. Like, you may think you're using the best there is, but then he'll tell you, no, that's not what you should be using. And he really gives you the best products to use. He does great product reviews. And he also reacts to some people's skincare routines as well, and so I think that's interesting also. But he's just another really informative YouTuber and gives great advice for skincare and what to use. And I had never watched him before. I actually was scrolling through TikTok and I saw him reacting to people on TikTok skincare routines, and then I realized he had a YouTube channel, and so I went and looked, and I was just on his channel forever, watching his videos about skincare. So go check him out if you're interested in that. He's really informative. He's fun to watch also. The next one is Stephanie Buttermore. I don't know if you guys have watched her or heard of her before, but I am obsessed with her videos. I've been watching her videos for like a year or two now, and I think she is so interesting to me. She used to do these major cheat days where she would just she's a fitness YouTuber for the most part, and she would do these videos where she would do these like insane cheat days, and I don't know why, but I loved watching those. And the girl can eat, and like she would just eat, but she was so fit, and I was so fascinated by all of it. She's really interesting. She also is very smart, and she knows a lot of the science behind health and medicine, and she gives great tips on that stuff, and she gives great information. Her channel is like a little loophole too. Once you start watching, you want to watch more and more and more. So she's someone I really enjoy watching, so go check her out if you would like. She's great. The next one is Clancy Burke. So I found her channel about maybe a year ago, maybe a few months ago. It wasn't that long ago, but she is a news broadcaster, and I am so fascinated by that world. I love broadcasting. It's something that when I was younger, especially, like I would have loved to have done. She's so interesting to me. She takes you in like days in her life on her work schedule, and her first video I came across was her like 2 a.m. morning routine, and her schedule is so whack and crazy, but like that's what she has to do as a news broadcaster, and it's so interesting to like see in the life of, she's young too, and it's interesting to just like watch her life and how she does that and how she works as a news broadcaster. And I don't know, I just really enjoy watching her channel and watching her content. She makes really good content about her job in general, and I don't know, especially if you're into that field of journalism and broadcasting, I recommend watching her because she's really, really relatable if you want to go into that field. So check her out if you would like. The next person I actually found on TikTok, which I'm sure if you're going through TikTok, you've seen this girl's videos. She does like the really aesthetic, like the very white, super pretty and cute. She does those like day whatever of quarantine, and like her video, they're super clean, super crisp, super like beautiful. She makes these great like 60-second videos where I just am mesmerized and want to watch all of her videos. But I found her on TikTok, and I realized she had a YouTube channel, so I went and looked at her YouTube channel, and sure enough, it's just as aesthetic and clean and crisp as her TikTok, but better because the videos are longer, and obviously you get to like know more about her life and how she is and who she is, and I love her videos. If you're into those like TikToks, then check her out. Nabella Noor is her name. Nabella, I think I'm saying her name right, I don't know. But she's great. Her videos are like almost relaxing, especially when she does like her house videos, or like she shows like her house and what she does, like everything. Her routine, her schedule it's just super relaxing to me to watch her. And I just found her on YouTube like a few days ago, and I was like obsessed, and I was hooked on her channel, and I was like, I have to write this down so I can tell them. Nabella Noor, you'll really like her. And then those are like the YouTubers that I was like, let me mention. And then obviously I have the people that I'm subscribed to that have been watching for a long time. A few of them, Maggie and Emma McDonald, I love them. Jessica Howell, her videos again are so, I love, like, just she's very like clean and crisp too, and like her days are just, she's very productive, and I really like watching her videos too. Those are a few of the people I'm subscribed to that I really enjoy watching, so I suggest checking them out if you haven't already. And like just in general videos on YouTube, I mean, you can find almost any video you want on YouTube, which is the great thing about it. But the videos I enjoy watching are like day in my lives, especially for people that are still working right now, like nurses. I love watching nursing day in my lives, but I also love watching flight attendant day in my lives, because I want to be a flight attendant. And so I have one person I'm subscribed to, and her name's Carrie Ann, and she does her flight attendant vlogs, and I love watching her channel because it gets me excited. That's what I want to do, and so I love watching that and her like day in my lives and what she does as a flight attendant. And then also just like watching, you know, what people are doing in quarantine, how people are dealing with it. I like what I eat in a day, cleaning, organizing videos. I mean, it's keeping me entertained, that's for sure. So those are some things on YouTube that I've been like really interested in and watching, so I highly recommend checking them out. So yeah, that's YouTube. Okay, the next one is, I'm gonna go into Netflix and some things that I've watched on Netflix. And I like used to just, for some reason I like got off of the Netflix for a while. I was just on YouTube, but I figured I gotta do something with my time, so why not look into new shows and find new shows. The first one I found, or the first one I'm gonna mention, I began watching like right when quarantine started, right when this whole thing was like beginning, and it was Gilmore Girls. I am obsessed with this show. I heard about it before and I was like, you know, I mean, I don't know how I'd feel about it. I don't know if I'd like it, but I finished like the whole entire show. I finished in like a few weeks. I was watching it every day. Like, I was hooked. I was obsessed. And I love it because the relationship between the mom and the daughter is just like my relationship with my mom and I loved watching it. It was really funny. It was cute. I don't know, I just really liked it. And the actors in it too. Milo Ventimiglia is in it, and he is, woo. So highly recommend Gilmore Girls. If you've never watched it before, please, you will not be sorry. The next one, I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. It's The Tiger King. Joe Exotic, you know, I mean, you have to have heard something about it if you've been anywhere on social media or anything. It's super interesting, super weird. You won't be sorry with that one either. It's really, yeah, you'll be interested. You'll laugh. It'll make you laugh, that's for sure. The next one, okay, so if you love watching comedy shows and things like that, I've never been a huge fan. Like, I love comedy, but I've never been one to sit and watch an hour-long Netflix comedy show. I just like haven't. I'll see clips here and there, but I've never like sat down and watched a whole comedy like show. But there's this one, her name is Taylor Tomlinson, and on Netflix it's Taylor Tomlinson Quarter-life Crisis. It kept me in the whole time. It's like an hour long, and I was laughing. Like, I was sitting in my room literally dying laughing at how funny this girl is. She's talking about like her 20s and like what her 20s were like, and it's really relatable for like me too and some of my friends, because like we're in our 20s now. She talks about life, relationships. She talks about so many relatable things, but she makes it funny. I highly recommend watching her, especially if like you're in your 20s right now. It's a super relatable, but it's super funny. She's really good. It definitely kept me entertained the whole time. The next one is the show Mindhunter. I'm not really into those like Criminal Minds shows, like NCIS, anything like that. But this show I heard some things about and I was like, let me just check it out. And I'm hooked. It only has 2 seasons. I just finished the first one. I haven't watched the second one yet. But it's basically about before serial killers became like a word, before serial killer was a thing. It's about FBI agents that are interviewing basically serial killers that they don't know, or they haven't coined the term serial killer yet, but they work in the behavioral unit, and they try to see the psychology and the behavior behind people that do these things and people that kill other people. They go into the mind of a serial killer and what makes them do it and the behavior behind it from their childhood on, and like what causes it. And it's super interesting to me. If you really like those things, then I highly recommend. At some points it can get a little boring, I'm not gonna lie, but if you stick through it, like, it's just interesting to see some of the things that like they do. It's really good. The actors in it are great. And then obviously you can go back and watch the classics that I'm sure many of you have watched, or if you haven't, these are shows I'm recommending. Vampire Diaries, my favorite show on Netflix. You gotta love it. Vampire Diaries, Grey's Anatomy, Friends, Gossip Girl, those are all shows that I've watched once or twice, and those are shows that you can go and rewatch, or if you've never watched them, highly recommend watching those shows, all of them. They're amazing, they're great. I'm sure you've heard of them before. You can always rewatch your shows. I do it sometimes if you get bored or you don't really know what else to watch. And then there's another show called The Crown on Netflix, and it's basically goes back into the Queen of England and her life and her growing up and becoming the queen. And it's like the story of her life. I started watching it when I was at my grandparents' last Christmas, I think it was, and like they would just watch it every night and I would just be out there in the living room with them watching it. And then I started getting super interesting, so I went home and I watched the entire series, and then season 2 just came out, and the actors are amazing in this show. They're so good, and it's really just an interesting show, just like seeing from like how it all plays out. It's super interesting. So I highly recommend The Crown on Netflix. Another show, The Society. It's one of my absolute favorite shows on Netflix, but I'm so mad because I watched it like right when it came onto Netflix, and it's only 1 season, and the second season, I feel like it's taken years for this second season to come out. I have just been waiting for this second season of this show. It is so good. It's about these kids. I'm trying not to give too much away, but it's about these kids who live in this small town. They go on a field trip. They come back from the field trip. They come back to their town and they realize that everyone is gone from their town except for them. And so basically they're trying to figure out what is going on. They're trying to come up with a system, and it's just super interesting. It really is. And the actors again are great in that show as well, and I love it. I'm waiting for season 2. It says it's coming out 2020, so whenever you're ready, Netflix, I'm ready to watch season 2. So yeah, highly recommend The Society on Netflix. I know I keep saying highly recommend, but these are shows I literally highly recommend. Like, they're so good. And then those are all shows. And the movies on Netflix, they just put Perks of Being a Wallflower on Netflix. I love that movie so much, and I just rewatched it the other night, so that's on Netflix, so I suggest you go and watch that. He's Just Not That Into You. I never watched it before, and then I found it was on Netflix, and I was like, let me just watch it. And let me just tell you, girls, you should go and watch He's Just Not That Into You. And then another one is Someone Great. Love that movie. I could watch it over and over and over again. And then Love, Rosie, a classic. I know a lot of these are like romance, but I'm into those kind of movies. And Netflix has a good selection of romance. They don't really have a good selection of other ones, no offense, but like they have a good selection of like little rom-coms. And Love, Rosie is a cute movie. I watched it when I was in high school, and it became like one of my absolute favorite movies, and so that's on Netflix. Okay, now moving on from Netflix, we're gonna go into Hulu. I don't have too many options from Hulu. The only shows I really watch on Hulu are like if I'm catching up on a show that I couldn't watch on TV. So like if I'm catching up on The Bachelor or on American Idol or anything like that, that's where I'll use Hulu. But I also use Hulu sometimes to watch like reality shows. Like I love Kristen Cavallari. I love that. Her show is great. Oh, and I watch like Vanderpump Rules. Just like there's sometimes I'll just go on to like just put something on and watch it. But shows that I'm super into, Love Island is on Hulu, and Love Island is my absolute favorite like reality. It's so good. Please go watch it. I watched the UK version. I've watched the Australian one and the US one, but for some reason I can't get into it as much as the UK. I'm just obsessed with it. They have so many seasons. They just finished with their Winter Love Island, so they just finished with the last one, the most recent one that came out. And you can binge watch that for days. It is so good. Highly recommend Love Island. Please go watch. The people in it are hilarious. They're so funny. Love Island. Go watch it. Another one is One Tree Hill. One Tree Hill was on Netflix when I was in high school, and that's when I watched it. And it's funny because like my whole friend group and I in high school, we all were like watching it at the same time, and like we were all obsessed with One Tree Hill. And it's just a classic. It's one of the classic shows, and it's kind of like one of those shows about a group of people that are from a small town, and it goes on in their lives, and it's drama, and it's high school, and it's beyond high school, and it's really good. So One Tree Hill, go check it out. They have it on Hulu. They took it off Netflix, sadly, but it is on Hulu if you have a Hulu. And then Friday Night Lights is on Hulu as well. It's one of like the older shows that I watched when I was in high school as well, but it's another show that I love. I love rewatching shows that like I really enjoyed when I was in high school, and that's a show that I was like obsessed with in high school. So Friday Night Lights, again, about a small town. It's about football and life, and not to mention there's some people that are nice to look at in the show. Like most of these, but Tim Riggins, if you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, that's basically all I have for Hulu. Hulu, I don't, like I said, I mainly use Hulu if I'm like watching a show that I wasn't able to watch on TV, or if I'm like wanting to watch reality or something. That's all I have for Hulu. And then my last one is Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime, I don't have a lot either. But I have like 3 movies and then I have a show. I'll go into the movies first. So on Amazon Prime, they have this, I was on like this Timothée Chalamet kick, such a great actor. And I only watched 2 of his movies because the other ones you had to pay for. But once those come out, catch me watching those for sure. The first one is Hot Summer Nights. Oh, it is such a good movie and the acting is phenomenal. Timothée Chalamet, like I said, he's so great. Please go watch it if you have the chance. Hot Summer Nights, so good. And the next one is Lady Bird. It's so interesting, but I really enjoyed that movie as well. Those movies I highly recommend on Amazon Prime. And another one is A Simple Favor with Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick. I love that movie. Blake Lively is my girl crush. I am obsessed with her. Her acting, I think, is great. In Gossip Girl, I loved her. I love her in all of the movies she does. But A Simple Favor, she's really, really good in it. The end will have you shook. So I highly recommend watching that movie if you have Amazon Prime. And then, I saved the best for last, guys. This show, oh my gosh, I can't even like, I obsess about, this is my absolute favorite show that I have on this list, and that says a lot. Like, I know I've said that about like maybe Love Island or a few others, but like I'm telling you, I have never been so invested into a show in my life. Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf. I know Teen Wolf came out when I was like 12 years old and I never watched it. I had friends that watched it all the time and like I never got into it. I don't know, I just wasn't interested. I don't know why I never watched it. I was like, you know what, let me just give it a shot. Like, I love Dylan O'Brien. I'm obsessed with Dylan O'Brien. I kid you not, I watched the entire series and it has 7 seasons, I think. I watched that entire series in like a week. Oh, I cried when it ended. I've never been so emotionally invested into a show that and I don't know if maybe it's because I just started it in quarantine and like I haven't, literally human interaction is like at the lowest possible right now. And so like you put yourself into a fictional series, yeah, sure. I've never been so invested into a show in my entire life, and if you've never watched Teen Wolf and you never thought you were going to be into it or anything like that, you will not regret it. If you watch Teen Wolf, you will be obsessed though, so keep that in mind. You will be emotionally invested. Let me just say that Dylan O'Brien, wow. After watching that, I'm not even kidding, I don't know if like other people are like me. I literally, when I get into a show like that, or like when I watch a show that I really, really like, I find myself like after I finish it going onto like my computer and watching like interviews that the actors do and the cast, and like I don't know, it's so interesting to me and I become like attached to these characters. And this show was just so great. Oh my gosh, I wish it didn't have to end, and I wish they would just go on forever and ever. But if you've never seen Teen Wolf, oh my gosh, I'm sorry that I'm like, I keep saying it. Like, it is so great, and I'm just, maybe it's because I'm in love with Dylan O'Brien. He's just, oh, I'm obsessed with him. Yeah, I highly recommend Teen Wolf. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop obsessing over the show. I did not want it to end. I got so sad when it ended, but please go watch Teen Wolf. You will not regret it, and if you love Dylan O'Brien like me, he's in the show, so go and watch it. Okay, so I'm done obsessing over Dylan O'Brien in the show Teen Wolf, but I'm done with my list. I'm sorry if you guys have seen every single one of those shows. Those are just my suggestions, but I hope it helped in some way and gives you something to watch while you're at home, hopefully staying home, and it gives you something to keep yourself entertained and to watch. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you would like. Post videos every week. So stay home, stay safe, wash your hands, and I will see you guys all in my next video.